Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. And now the news in details. The National Security Advisor Noor Badr yesterday met with service chiefs and heads of security and intelligence agencies over the decision of United States President Donald Trump to move against Nigerians following allegations of Christian genocide in the country. The meeting came as Trump said late Sunday that ground operations and airstrike could form part of the United States attack in Nigeria. This is even as the government of Chad yesterday announced the immediate closure of its borders with Nigeria, attributing it to security concerns following reports of alleged U.S. military plans over Christians killing and genocide in Nigeria. The federal government has appealed to the striking resident doctors to consider the efforts being made by the government to address their demands and go back to work. Minister of State for Health Isiaq Salako made the appeal today during a ministerial press briefing in Abuja. Global Television Health correspondent Zahra Nasir was at the news briefing and now reports.
The Minister of State for Health said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the ministry to do everything possible to end the strike which started on Saturday. He explained that towards this end, the government has already released the sum of 11.9 billion naira to settle parts of their salary arrears and allowances.
The Minister of Finance has met with them. The Minister of Labour and Productivity has met with them. Minister of State for Finance has also met with them to try and address all the 19-point issues that they raised. And today, I can tell you that most of those issues are being addressed.
The Minister of State apologized to Nigerians who could not access health services within this period and reassured them that it will soon be a history.
We would like to express our regrets and an unconditional apology to Nigerians, especially those who needed to access health care in the last 48 hours, who could not do it as a result of the strike action by National Association of Resident Doctors.
Vice Chairman Committee of Chief Medical Directors and MDS of the Federal Tertiary Health Institutions, Dr. Yahaya Baba Adamu said all the emergency services would be open and running within this period.
So the Federal Tertiary Health Institution are maintaining their clinics, even though it may not be in full scale as it used to be when all hands were on deck, but they are running.
The event was attended by various stakeholders in the health sector with the permanent secretary of the ministry, among others. Zahra Nasir reporting for Global TV News.
Kano State government has approved the sum of 19.9 billion naira for the execution of various development projects across the state. Briefing newsmen on the outcome of the 33rd Executive Council meeting. The State Commissioner of Information, Ibrahim Boye, says the approval follows a deliberation on critical issues affecting the state. Global Television's correspondent Idris Jabir was there and now reports.
Chaired by the Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, the 33rd Executive Council meeting of the Kano State Government focuses on critical issues of governance affecting the state. After a series of presentations by commissioners of various ministries, the sum of 4.9 billion naira for the Ministry of Education was approved.
The breakdowns include 380,957,001 naira for settlement of outstanding liabilities due to the Board for Arabic and Islamic Studies enviers, 260,015,629,000 naira, 64 kobo for the purchase of 2 shops adjoining the Engineer Rabi Musa Concourse of Women's Skills Center.
To improve healthcare delivery across the state, the council equally approved the sum of 274.7 million naira for the renovation of various healthcare facilities across the state, while the sum of 3.3 billion naira has been approved for the project under the Ministry of Water Resources.
650,455,779 naira 12 kobo for payment of KEDCO electricity bills for the State Water Board covering 30 months. 1,772,800,000 for settlement update on diesel, AGO, and petrol TMS supply for water treatment plants and the Water Board headquarters.
To enhance energy sustainability in Kano, the council approved the sum of over 900 million naira for the supply and installation of solar-powered street lights across the state.
139,528,317 naira 83 kobo for supply and installation of alternative solar power system at the Council Affairs Directorate. 840,361,675 naira 73 kobo for supply and installation of 150 kV solar powered backup system at Africa House, Government House.
Meanwhile, the commissioners say Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has since directed all ministries affected to immediately commence work and ensure prudent management of government resources. From Kano, Idris Jubrin, Global Television News.
The new president of Nigerian Navy Officers' Wives Association, NOWA, has taken over the reins of leadership. The handover ceremony held at the NOWA Secretariat in Abuja marks a moment of reflection, gratitude, and renewed commitment to service and community impact. Samuel Odi reports for Global Television News.
The outgoing NOWA president, Mrs. Ijoma Blessing Ogala, who was represented by the vice president of NOWA, Dr. Zainab Akban, handed over the mantle of leadership to her successor, Aisha Idi Abbas, in a ceremony attended by senior naval officers' wives, members of the association, and invited guests. In her valedictory speech, Mrs. Akban expressed appreciation to the Nigerian Navy and members of NOWA for their unwavering support during her tenure. She highlighted the association's achievements in women's empowerment, education, and welfare, describing her years in office as a journey of purpose and collective impact.
At this moment, I wish to sincerely acknowledge and appreciate every member for their support through this journey. Serving as the 22nd Vice President of this distinguished association has been one of the greatest honors of my life, and I will forever hold dearly.
The outgoing president urged every member of the association to throw their weight behind the new president and leadership of NOWA, appreciating the outgoing chief of naval staff for his unwavering support throughout her tenure.
I extend my heartfelt congratulations. I am confident that your leadership will be guided by wisdom, compassion, and vision. And I also believe you will steer this association to even greater heights.
In her acceptance speech, the new NOWA president, Aisha Idi Abbas, commended the outgoing NOWA president for her services to the association and the country at large.
I pledge to build upon the solid foundation you have laid and to uphold the values and principles that define the association. Our role as naval officers' wives is to provide robust support that ensures the well-being and welfare of our members.
As leadership changed hands at NOWA, the spirit of unity and service that has defined the association continues to inspire women within the Nigerian Navy, family, and also a bond of service that extends beyond the uniform of their spouse. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
The crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party appears to be far from over. A faction led by Muhammad Abdurrahman has taken over the party's national secretariat, Wadata Plaza in Abuja, claiming to be the authentic leadership of the People's Democratic Party. Our political correspondent Ubong Usoro reports.
Tensions heightened today at the Wadata Plaza headquarters of the People's Democratic Party as a faction loyal to the National Secretary, Senator Sam Anyanwu, stormed the secretariat alongside Muhammad Abdurrahman, who declared himself the new chairman of the party. Until its emergence, Abdurrahman served as the vice chairman of the North Central Zone of the PDP. He was declared acting national chairman on the 3rd of November 2025 by a faction of the National Working Committee led by Senator Anyanwu. After his inauguration, Abdurrahman pledged to unite the party and restore internal democracy, promising to, in his word, heal the PDP of its wound and end factionalism.
Now we can put our head together to make sure that we bring this party to where it belongs to. We all know the slogan of our party is People Democratic Party, and the power is to the people.
The takeover occurred amid heavy security presence around the secretariat to prevent any breakdown of law and order. Prominent PDP figures, including former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose, have, however, welcomed Abdurrahman's emergence, describing it as a new beginning for the party. As at the time of this report, calm has returned to the area, though the party remains sharply divided over its leadership structure. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
of Environment through the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project recently hosted a stakeholders meeting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State to discuss strategic steps towards environmental protection in Ogoniland. Again, Ubong Usoro reports.
Following the approval of recommendations by Professor Dam, Barry Dam's Technical Committee for the Center of Excellence and Environmental Restoration, CEER, the Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas, reaffirms government's commitment to ensuring a cleaner and safer Ogoniland. Speaking at the meeting, Professor Nani Barini Zabi said the gathering marks a critical milestone in government's efforts to implement the United Nations Environment Programme UNEP recommendations in the region. He emphasized that the provision of potable water, shoreline cleanup, and mangrove restoration remains key priorities.
In line with the directives contained in the Hybrid Establishment Gazette, the establishment of the Center of Excellence for Environmental Restoration is a key recommendation of the United Nations Environment Programme report on Ogoniland.
But after everything would have finished about oil exploration or maybe our cleanup, this is what we are going to see. Now, since it's a key recommendation.
Delivering the keynote address, international researcher Professor Craig Sample noted that innovation, operational methods can further enhance sustainability and accelerate the pace of cleanup projects in Ogoniland.
And that collaboration is not just about bringing researchers from the university sector together or from research institutes. It's also about bringing in.
Stakeholders at the meeting agreed that collaboration, transparency, and effective monitoring remains essential to achieving lasting restoration and rebuilding the trust of the Ogoni people. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
When Midday News returns, River United paired with champions Pyramid of Egypt in Group A CAF Championship League. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Break, and in business news across Nigeria, young people are seizing digital opportunities to redefine work and create new career paths in a fast-changing world. As innovation reshapes every sector, how ready are Nigerian youth to compete in this digital economy? Saadatu Garba takes a look at the digital opportunities and now reports.
Nigeria's youth population is turning technology into a tool for empowerment. From coding and data analysis to digital marketing and design, tech skills are opening doors to new forms of employment and entrepreneurship, both locally and globally. Unlike many traditional jobs that are shrinking, the tech industry keeps expanding, offering young Nigerians flexible options like remote work, freelancing, and global job placement.
It's a very good welcome idea to the economy as large, because if you look at the system, even the economy, there is no job. So if youth have that privilege to get online texting and they're making something, I believe it's something that everyone can do.
To build on this momentum, both government and private initiatives are driving digital empowerment. The National Information Technology Development Agency's 3 Million Technical Talent Program, for instance, is training thousands of youths in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and data science. However, challenges such as unstable power supply, poor internet connectivity, and the high cost of learning materials continue to hinder many young people from reaching their full digital potential.
The benefit of the online skills people are learning today, it's very important. The benefits, one of the benefits is it brings more income, more economics development to the country, and it also improve the standards of our economics.
So it's very beneficial, especially to our youth these days, because there's no job in the country. But online you can get a job if you can just spare your time 2 hours, 3 hours a day. You'll be able at the end of the week to earn some dollars. And when that comes into your account and you change it to Naira, you have some money to keep body and soul together and forge ahead.
Experts say incorporating digital education into school curriculums and making tech training more accessible could unlock massive economic growth and help Nigeria harness its youthful population effectively. As Nigeria races towards a digital future, the focus must shift from awareness to real action, empowering every young Nigerian with the skills to thrive in a technology-driven world. Saadatu Garba for Global Television.
The Nigerian Customs Service Apapa Area Command has achieved a historic milestone by generating a record of 304 billion naira in revenue for October 2025, the highest monthly collection by any customs command in the history of the service. The figure, announced in a statement by the command's public relations officer Tunde Ayebola, represents a remarkable leap from the 264 billion naira collected in October 2024. With this new record, Apapa Command has now brought its total revenue for the first 10 months of 2025 to 2.4 trillion naira, surpassing its entire 2024 collection 2 months before the year ends. According to the Customs Area Comptroller, Emmanuel Oshoba, the achievement reflects the command's growing efficiency, dedication of officers, and commitment to the Nigerian Customs Service revenue generation and trade facilitation mandates. On the foreign scene, Kenya opposition leaders have commended Tanzania's election as sham in the report of mass casualties and a digital blackout, questioning President Ruto's silence as regional stability hangs in the balance. Kenya politician Professor Kivuta and the Kenya Human Rights Commissioner Kwacheti Makua gave a press statement on the situation in Tanzania, where hundreds are found dead after post-election protests. Uyi Abomufwegbe completes the story.
The Kenyan political figures, in their fierce condemnation of the electoral exercise and its outcome, labeled the landslide victory of President Samia Suluhu Hassan a fraudulent exercise conducted amid a violent state crackdown and a communications blackout, calling on regional institutions to show leadership. Their remarks made at a press conference in Nairobi amplify regional concerns over a deepening political crisis in the neighboring country that threatens East African stability.
Anybody who tries to legitimize what has happened in Tanzania does not wish Tanzania well, does not wish Africa well. We need to overcome the impunity that has become king in the region of East Africa and in parts of Africa. We are looking for leadership from the AU, from the sub-regional bodies.
Kivutha Kibwana is a Kenyan politician and human rights activist. He was Minister for Defense, Minister for Environment, and a member of the parliament for the Makueni constituency in the East African country. By his assessment, he says the scale of human rights concerns left in the wake of the Tanzanian election makes it impossible to rate the exercise as credible.
Given the human rights and current security situation in Tanzania, it is impossible to say that credible elections took place on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. It is now day 5 of the internet blackout amidst mass killings and a fraudulent electoral process.
The Electoral Commission said Hassan won 97.66% of the votes, with turnouts at 87%, despite reports from journalists and other observers that polling stations were largely empty. Uyi Agmofwebe reporting for Global TV News.
South Korea expects to launch its first nuclear-powered submarine by the late 2030s. A senior defense ministry told the ministers on Tuesday, days after Washington had approved Seoul's plan. United States President Donald Trump last week said he had given Seoul a green light after South Korea had announced that the two countries reached a broad deal covering investment and shipbuilding. Trump, who was in South Korea for a regional summit, said on Truth Social that Seoul would manufacture its nuclear-powered submarine. And in the world of sports, Madrid's athletic team for the 2025 Islamic Solidarity Games has been unveiled on the event's official website, with African champion and Commonwealth Games medalist Chukwuebuka Enekwachi leading a 25th athletic contingent determined to make a strong statement in Saudi Arabia. The 6th edition of the Islamic Solidarity Games will be staged from November 7th to 21st at the Prince Faisal bin Fahd Sports City Stadium, a 22,000 capacity venue set to host some of the continent's finest athletics. Madrid has a modest record in athletics at the Islamic Solidarity Games, having won 3 silver and 1 bronze medal in 2017, the only edition where it reached the podium in track and field. Overall, Madrid has won 11 medals in the game's history across various sports. Madrid hopefuls River United will face title holders Pyramids of Egypt after the CAF Championships League Group G was made in Johannesburg on Monday. Morocco and Power Dynamos of Zambia complete Group A with Pyramids, the only club among the 4 who have qualified before the mini-league phase. That's it on Global Television Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms. Now showing on your screen using that Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.